Hello DOIT, hello Asia, I'm Chris Anderson, it's great to be here. Innovation is just doing something that's never been done before. It's working together today to create something that people want, to create something that typically big companies might not create on their own, something that, that came out of the inspiration, the imagination of regular people. I think the three are open innovation, which is combinations of things like open source and community collaboration. Crowdfunding, which is, again, using a similar open innovation model to finance projects. And desktop prototyping and desktop manufacturing, the ability to use cheap, powerful tools to very quickly turn an idea into something real. Open innovation ranges from the very precise open source, like open source software, open source hardware with a license in certain terms, to just more generic working together. The big difference between the 20th century and the 21st is that in the 20th century, people tended to work on their own. They worked by themselves. And in the 21st, the lessons of the web are things are easier when you work together. And these communities are typically not companies. They're not universities, they're not institutions, they're ad hoc communities. They're just regular people who have a shared interest and a platform on which they can innovate together. One of my inspirations has been the company MakerBot, which makes 3D printers, and they used open source hardware, open source software, and very quickly took a technology that had previously been just for big companies and was very expensive, made it desktop, made it personal, made it useful, made it easy, and then very quickly advanced to the point that it became as good as commercial offerings. They recently sold for $600 million, which is an inspiration to all of us. The second company I can't help but mention is my own, 3D Robotics, which does the same thing as MakerBot, but does it for aerospace and aerial robotics. So we make drones, and we just took regular people and communities and open platforms, and we compete with big aerospace companies. We went from amateurs on the web to running big factories in just a matter of years with almost no funding. And the third example I'll give you, just because it's a little one, but I like it a lot, is my watch. This is the Pebble smartwatch, which is a Kickstarter project. And what I love about this is not only was it just 4 guys in Palo Alto who basically beat Sony to a hot new category, but also it's a platform. Other people can write applications for this watch that can work with my phone and start to give it power and features that the watchmakers alone never imagined. So what I love about them is that it's not only an example of a maker business beating a big consumer electronics company, but it takes a platform approach to a new category of wearable devices. So I'm very bullish, so positive about Taiwan in general. I think again, strong technical foundations, really tight linkages with the manufacturing capacities of China, and great relationship with the United States. So those are all positives. So I think it's probably going to be something about wearables or something about mobile, but this is really the golden age of hardware. Not that, hardware is getting so good. We have the Internet of Things, we have these components that are now revolutionizing industries from healthcare to robotics. Many of these skills are here in Taiwan's industries, but it needs to be best in the world at something. It needs to be known as the place to go for blank. It used to be the place to go for PCs. Nobody cares about PCs anymore. So now it needs to be something else. And I think over the next 5 years, Taiwan has the ability to define what that something else is.